y'all, Bridget Bartlett here. I am the local business marketing, training, and support specialist with Builderall. I'm just updating the broadcast page here, so give me just a second while I do that. Make sure that everything is functioning properly. Let's see here. Okay, cool. I am on the broadcast page. Yay. So again, I am Bridget Bartlett. I am the local business marketing, training, and support specialist with Builderall. And if you guys look in the top link or in the description of the video, if you look in the description, you'll see a link to the broadcast page. Okay. So what I am doing now is I'm actually going live on a broadcast page, and I want to show you what it actually looks like because it has a lot more benefits to going live on a webinar broadcast page versus social media or YouTube, because basically you want to have everything. When I give you a resource or I tell you about a resource, I want you to just have it already. I don't want you to be digging around and having to go through different groups. I want you to just click on the one link and then everyone be able to comment and, be like a real community instead of people watching on YouTube or in the groups or wherever. It's also a way for me to keep everything in one place and really make it simple for you guys. So before I get into today's training, we are going to be talking about creating our front end offer page, continuing in our how to create your own course funnel training that we're doing. So this is actually day 10. So we're definitely moving along here. And remember, I go live every Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you want to get notified, I will actually send you a text. If you text the word live to 1 for the United States, if you're already in the United States, you don't have to type in 1, but it is area code 317-623-4596. And so if you text the word live to that number, then I will send you a text message every time I go live. That way you never miss me. And then you can easily just go right to the broadcast page to join me live. So let me actually share my screen because I want to show you actually what the page looks like and just give you a little bitty tour for just a second before we get into the training. Let me share my screen here. So give me just a second. Okay, so here we go. So you can see here's my video. There's actually a delay here, but you guys can comment here. Okay, now I want to show you there's also some really cool things here that you can benefit from, right? So if you want to, first of all, if you're watching this ever and I don't pop up at 2 o'clock, make sure to refresh your screen here and then, just put your name in again. Also, if you want to become a Builderall member, you can click here to become a Builderall member. You can also click here to follow any of the Builderall social media. If you are interested in local business marketing, network marketing, information products, physical products, or product launch, you can click here to access all of these courses. Now, if you are a paid Builderall member, these courses are free. So, even if you came in at the dollar plan or you want to come in at the dollar plan, you can click here to go to sign up. And then you'll have access to these courses for free. If you missed the email challenge, you can actually click here and it goes right to the e-learning. So you see here is the e-learning. You have 34 days of training. So lots of valuable resources. You can also join any of the Mag 5 groups here as well. So, and if you missed any of the training that we're doing right now, like I said, we're on day 10, you can click here and then you'll go to my YouTube channel for now, and then you can access all of the training in this playlist in order. Okay. I will eventually be adding this to an e-learning just like the email challenge. So again, it's just a matter of making things easier and more streamlined for you guys so that you're not looking around everywhere for your information. Okay. So I am actually going to move this out of the way because we are going to dive right into our training today because it's actually going to take forever, but it's probably going to be a longer training just because there's so much that so much to do and so much to share in this. So let me go ahead and turn off my get notified here. Let's see. I got some questions. Hi, Bridget, watching from the Facebook group. Cool. That's awesome. Yeah, you can watch anywhere. And I don't know in the future, honestly, if we will continue broadcasting everywhere or if we will just stay in the broadcast page. I'm not really sure. But one big thing, let me just, I'm going to have to stop sharing because I really, really, really need to look you guys like in the eyes and tell you. Not only is it amazing that we are doing this, okay, but the most beautiful part is that as affiliates, all you have to do is cookie the link to this broadcast page, and then you can share with anyone. Okay. There are no cookied links on this page the broadcast page. So if you cookie the link and you give that link to anyone, you could share it in groups, you could share it to your email list, wherever you want to share it. And then someone signs up on Builderall on that page, you get commission, not me. You get commission. Okay. So that's really, really important. It's just another thing that is so valuable that we are just giving away. You guys can just give this away. You don't have to create an opt-in page. You don't have to create anything. You can just share this whole entire training by cooking the link and you get commission. So with Builderall, as affiliates, you get 100% commission if someone signs up for Builderall. So it's just a great system. And again, it's just about making things easier. So enough with all of that. I'm going to share my screen again. Let's actually dive into today's training. Let's see. Jim says, hi, watching from YouTube. Awesome. 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 Okay, guys. So what we're doing today is we're actually going to design our front end offer page. Now, if you're completely lost, definitely go to that broadcast page and watch the replays. But I guarantee, even if you know what to do and you've built this before, you're probably going to learn something new, because even though I know how to do it, first of all, I should share my screen. That would help. Okay. Let's see. Alvin says, got it. This resource is already an asset to market and support. Absolutely. I mean, really, it's free training, and really the best way to get someone to sign up in affiliate marketing is by providing value. A lot of people think, oh, you just share a link, but it's the value that you're sharing. It's not the sale that you're sharing. That comes after the value. You have to show people the value. I know with me, you could tell me something's great 1,000,001 times, but if I don't see the value, I'm not buying it. And that's how most of us are. So if you just say, hey, did you ever want to know how to create a course funnel? Well, here, check out this training. It's free, you guys. It's totally free. And I want you to be successful. So cookie that link to my page and share it with everyone. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to, again, go back to our front end offer, and let's actually look and see what the page looks like now. So we created our funnel. This is what it looks like. We definitely want it to look different. But how do you know, let me close this out. How do you know what to put on here? This is the thing that really stops up a lot of people. And I told you, when we created this course for the purpose of training, we just used PLR products, which is amazing because it takes all the guesswork out. Okay. So I pulled up my file here, because usually, if you guys know me, I have an issue with organization. So I have the worst time. I never save my files to the appropriate place, and I have the worst time finding them. I do love that Google Drive has a search function here, so I can just type in like what I'm looking for, and then it finds it for me, which is probably enabling my disorganization. So if you go into your PLR product, let me back up a little bit. You see, here are the files once you unzip them. And again, if you guys are confused or lost, go back to the previous training, because I have not done any of this outside of the live training. Okay. I have not done anything. I'm literally walking you through live step by step as I work through the process mentally and just figure things out and find things. So if you notice here that it says inside the folder, it says sales page. So if you double click there and then you click on index, you can double click that, actually opened up in a different window. You see that we actually have a sample sales page. So what we're going to do is literally copy and paste this sales page and recreate it in Cheetah. So this is so easy because now, like, this is the fun part. It's just a matter of adding the text boxes, copying and pasting, and then, creating we don't even have to create the images because we have all of those in the package. So I'm going to use this as a reference and we're just going to recreate it. So I'm going to actually just move this over to my other screen because I want to definitely look at it while I'm doing it. But if you only have one screen, here's something that you could do. You could actually click here to make your window a little bit smaller here as you're designing your page. But I will say it does get let me click in here so you can see, does get kind of crowded sometimes. So if you do have that issue, it'll be a problem. But you can also do the same thing for the other window here. And this is what I did before I had this side by side. I would just minimize these things here. That way I can just, literally like, okay, I need this line. Now I need this line here. I'm going to copy and paste this here, copy and paste this here. Okay. So for the people who have two screens, definitely it's a lot better, but that is an option just to help you kind of speed up the process. Okay. So looking at our screen here, I'm not going to worry about this part because this is going to be a header. Okay, so we're going to start here with the attention line and then the title here, and then we're just going to move on. Okay, so I'm literally going to just copy and paste these things. I'm going to add this over here. Let me make sure though that I can still monitor your questions and everything. And just so you know, guys, I'm really, I really find it irresistible for me to not answer your questions when I see them on the other pages. But I really want to kind of like train you or encourage you to ask questions on the broadcast page. That way, no matter where you're watching, I can see them and everyone can see it too. And then we can all benefit from the answer and, da 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 da. All those things that I normally say. Okay, so let's go back here now. I'm going to copy the attention line. Okay, so we're just going to dive right in here and we're going to get started. Actually, what I want to do is just duplicate this page here or this panel. And I want to, because I want to keep it like that. I like the format and everything, but I don't need any of this stuff here. So I don't need this video. I'm just going to delete that. I could use this text. And again, I like to use the neutral text. So, I may change. Oh, and most of the templates do default to neutral text. So that is a benefit. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use this as the first line here. And then I'm going to highlight and do Control V to paste. Okay, so it didn't keep the format because it is a neutral text, but that's okay. We're just going to highlight here. And we're going to make it whatever we want. So I'm going to make this probably like a heading 3, but it's neutral, so I can change it. And we'll just make Lato black. And we want to change the size definitely because it's too large. So how about 25? And we want it to be in the middle, just like our other one. Let's change the line height. I always like 1. So here we go, but you see there's a lot of space in that box, so I want to delete because that's way too much space. So now, okay, now we have just on one line. And the reason I do that is simply because if you go to the mobile view, it really is noticeable, that space. So I'm actually going to bold this because that's what they did on the other website. So now we have our first headline or our first copied paste or our first copied text here. Okay. So now we need our main headline. And this is the one that everyone's going to see when they come to the website, right? The very first one. So I'm going to highlight this and I'm going to click Control V to paste. So obviously I want this to be a little bit larger. So I'm going to highlight again. Let's go ahead and let's just change this to 40. Okay, and I want to change the line height to 1. 1 is just my preference. It's what I like. But again, you can do, if you have a different reason, please feel free. It's not wrong. Okay, there's very rarely is there something wrong here. It's really about, just be creative. So now I have my headline here. I need another kind of subheadline that's kind of a little bit bigger, but similar to this. What I'm actually going to do is just duplicate this text, because why recreate it if I've already gotten it, right? So I'm going to just now double click here in the text box. I'm going to highlight this and I'm going to click Control V. Now you can see it left the T off because I didn't copy that part for some reason. And it's going to make me reformat anyway because it was a neutral text and I copied and pasted. So we'll just actually, let's stay with the Moly Black, or the Moly, I guess, is the default font. So we'll keep it this one, and let's go ahead and change it to maybe 30. And we can make it bold because that's what it is on the sample that we're using. Okay, and I'm going to just shrink this down a little bit because I don't like it to be so long. Now I'm going to just center this here. And honestly, at the end of everything, you want to go through, make sure that all of your boxes and texts are all centered like this. But while you're building, you're going to move this around so many times. So if you actually do that, you're kind of going to be wasting your time. Okay. So in case you're wondering, like, why isn't she doing any of that? That's why. Don't get bogged down in all of the little editing things. Just get the content on the website and then you can work to make it pretty. Okay, so moving down here, there's a bunch of text, so I'm just going to go ahead and copy this text, and we could actually use this text box here because it's neutral, so we can make it whatever we want. Let's make it the Moly, though, because I guess that's what we're going to just consistently use. So it's just going to be text, and this is actually just standard text, so we can make it like 20. And we could change the line height again to 1. And let me just highlight and then Control V to paste. And actually, I should have done that before I started changing everything. But again, this is life and it's live and no one is perfect. So we're just going to say this is neutral paragraph text because that's actually what it looks like on the website. We're going to make it Moly. And then we'll just change the size to, let's see, 18. 18 is good, but definitely too much line height for my preference. So I'm going to change that to 1. And it looks like there is some space on our sample here. So I'm going to just change this. I'm just going to click enter, just adding space in between the lines because that is what our sample shows us. So I just want to stay in line with the sample, right? Because if you're brand new, you don't know. I mean, you may have no idea what to post on here. Copywriting is something that, like, people pay a lot of money to get a well-written website or funnel because copywriting is such a challenge and it's a learned thing, right? So I'm going to go ahead and save because we've already put enough text here that I definitely want to not lose my changes if the internet was completely to shut down. So now I have, like, it looks like too much space when it saves. So I'm just going to delete some space here. Okay. And I hate when it does that. I meant to contact support yesterday about that. Okay, let's try. All right. Usually, see, I love that I'm doing this live because usually that's one of those things. Oh my gosh, why is it doing that? It's one of those things that I can't recreate when I tell tech support, like, hey, this is happening. Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, we're just going to leave that there because I don't know why it's doing that. So that's fine. We're just going to leave it there, and again, we'll just come back and we'll play with the formatting of it. All right, so now we need another bold title that is basically maybe a little bit bigger than this. So let's go ahead and we're just going to duplicate this, and we're just going to Control V to paste. Let's go ahead and change the font again. And let's see, we'll choose Moly Black because it is a heading. And we want our headings to be, let's say, about 30. So we'll remain consistent throughout the website. So every time we create one of these headings, it'll be the same size. Let me double check this one as well, because maybe we want this to be 25 instead of 30. Okay, so that looks pretty good. We'll keep this here. So now we have more text. So let's just duplicate this text box here so we don't have to add more. And we can just delete these things. We don't need them. But I do like that button, even though you guys know I'm probably going to change the color because I hate that green color. It kind of looks cool on this specific website template, but I just don't like it. I just don't. Okay. So I'm actually going to delete all of this stuff, even though I will come back to it simply. And that's why I duplicated this whole panel. So now I still have all of this stuff, even though I'm deleting it. And I can easily just pull it up on this panel if I did need it. So that's why I duplicated that. So I'm just going to delete all of these things because I want to keep the little arrow and I want to keep the box and all of that. And I don't really need this again because I've already duplicated that, but I may, yeah, I'll just delete it because I like the box and why recreate it, right? So let's delete that. Okay, now we can drag our box down just a little bit and give us some more room. Okay, so now let's move this text box down here. I'm just going to copy the text on my website and I'm just going to highlight all of this text here and then I'm going to click Control V to paste. Okay, so I'm just going to, I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, see if I save. And that's fine. Okay. Now, hopefully, if I click out of this, okay. So what I want to do is definitely make sure that all of these texts are the same. So you definitely want to go through here. But again, since I'm doing this live, I really don't want to get bogged down in this because it is time consuming and it's like, once you guys have seen it, you know what to do. But I could seriously play with this forever and just get it right. And so now that you know how to do it, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, but I want to make sure that I actually get through this whole page today. Okay, so again, I don't want to take up too much time. This video could be a few hours long if I did that. So let's go ahead and now I just need to add another title like this. I'm just going to duplicate this and I'm going to go ahead and highlight and then do Control V to paste. Okay, and now I'm just going to duplicate this text again because that is what is next. So I'm literally just going down the website and copying and pasting and putting all of these things in the correct order and the correct style. Okay, so I'm not going to really mess with this again to save time. We need another like subtitle here. So I'm just going to duplicate this. I'm going to move this here. I'm going to double click here. I'm going to add my title. So click Control V to paste. We have some more text here. So I'm just going to copy the text and I'm going to duplicate this text box here. And then I'm going to highlight all of this text. And then I'm going to click Control V to paste. And now I need another heading. So I'm just going to duplicate this and move on down. And one thing I might want to do is actually duplicate this panel again. And I want to move the panel up because I need to edit everything. But what I'm going to do is actually go here and I'm going to click in the panel that I want to move. And I'm going to go to Move Panels. And you see how it highlights this panel here because that's the one that I'm actually, that I have selected. But I want it to be the second panel. So I'm going to move that up there and then click Move. And then it will actually move that panel up. So it used to be where you had the arrows, you had to keep moving the arrow up. But this made it so much more simple. Okay, so now we have our text box here. And I'm going to, let's see, I've got solutions for you. So we have one more. I'm going to make this panel kind of long because I want to keep all of this in the box. I have one more text box that I need to add here before we get into the nuts and bolts of the actual offer. Okay, so let me highlight all of this. Oh, wait. Okay, no, I already pasted that one. So my bad. Now this title is going to be Launch Your Own Course. So Control V to paste. And then I have like a subtitle that is in italics. So I'm just going to duplicate this. And it looks like it's about the same size. So I'm going to copy this again or highlight everything, Control V to paste, but I need to highlight it because this I want to be moly because on our sample it is not bold and I want to italicize it. Okay, just simply because that's what they did, right? We can make this a little bit smaller. So maybe we'll make this 25. There we go. And we can leave like that. Now we need to add an image. Okay, so I want to show you what I have so far, and then I want to show you what our example looks like. So here we have, a smaller heading. We have this heading. We have another heading here. We have some text, a heading, text, heading, text. Okay, so as I scroll down, that's what we've done so far. Here is our example. Okay, so we have our heading here, we have the text, we have another heading, we have some more text, heading, text, heading, text, heading, text. Now here's where we are. Here's the title that I just created that was italicized. Now we need to add our image here. And then we need to add our the ebook that we're selling, because remember on this page we're selling the ebook, right? Let me check your questions here. Okay. Jim says, I too really like these live training sessions. Don't take it the wrong way, but it's nice to see the expert try to figure out steps here and there. Yeah, it's all a process. And every time you do something new, you have to figure it out. And that's what we talk about, in the Mag 5 is hashtag figure it out. Because we have lots of problems. Things happen, and sometimes it's a glitch with the system, and sometimes it's a glitch with you because you're just not doing it right. So it doesn't mean it's the end of the world if you can just move on to something else. Just do it. Don't get hung up on the little things that it's going to eat up your time and frustrate you. Okay, I'm going to move this back away because we're going to now add our image here. Okay, but I want to put this stuff, since we're getting into the images and the bolts of the offer, I want to add this actually on the next panel here. So I'm going to move this down, but you see, if you move this and it doesn't go under the panel, what you can do is click here. And actually, let me move to the side so I can get that box better. So what I like to do is do it halfway and then click here to edit elements and then go to advanced and then go to top. And then that moves it to the top. That way it doesn't get lost under that panel. So I also want to do the same thing here. Sometimes it just naturally pops open just like that, or pops up to the top, and sometimes it doesn't. So if it doesn't, then that's the workaround. Just adjust the layering there. So I'm going to shrink this box up a little bit so we can shrink up the panel. I'm just going to move this stuff up here. Okay, so now these will be on separate boxes. It's good to really not have a huge panel when you're creating things. That's pretty much as big as I possibly want it to get. Just because when you go to the mobile view and things like that, it starts to look really funky. So I want to have another panel, another box, plus visually, I want to break up all of the images and text. Okay, so I'm going to delete this because I don't need this anymore. This is just the duplicate of what we already did. Don't need this either. So we have launch your own course, and we're going to add this to the box. I'm just going to move this up a little bit, put this there. So now our next thing is an image. So probably just going to go ahead and delete this stuff because we're not really going to need it. The style of what we're doing here is going to be different. So I'm going to, instead of duplicating all the way down, I'm just going to delete this stuff here. So delete, delete, delete. all the way down. Okay, because again, I always talk about too, like stay organized. You'll save yourself such a headache. Okay, so now we have a clean working space. All right. So I want to add an image. I'm going to go over here to the panel on the right. I'm going to click the image that I want to select. I'm going to choose this one, and this is just a placeholder. So we need to actually upload our image. So I'm going to click here to edit element, go to general settings, change image, and I want to upload the image of the bundled, the checklist, the research, that the bundled image that came with our PLR. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to go over to launch course images. Let's click in here to see in our PLR stuff, graphics, images. Let's see, e-covers, bundled. Okay, so we have, and this one, again, it's important if you're just pulling right from the website, make sure that you're not choosing something incredibly large. This is a pretty good size. I don't really like to go larger than 1,000 pixels when I'm adding to the website because large images or files will slow your website down. So let's just see what this looks like. So I chose the medium image, but again, you don't want it to be too small because you want to make sure that, when it is blown up, that it's not really cloudy or not, the detail is not good. So I'm just going to kind of blow this up just like our example. Now we have a little line of text underneath it that just says, here's exactly what you get in the course. So it's a paragraph looking text. So I'm just going to go to the text elements and I'm going to pull in our paragraph text here. And then I'm just going to double click here. I'm going to highlight the text and I'm going to click Control V to paste. Okay, so that's what we're going to do here. Now, the next thing is actually a box with the ebook and, really displaying the benefits of the ebook. So what I want to do here is, let's think. I'm not going to actually put it in a box because we already have a box here that we're adding these things to. I could, since the whole thing is, yeah, I really like the style of the box. So what I'm thinking is instead of putting this ebook in a box, and just so you guys know what I'm looking at, we're to this point here. So I'm trying to think. Now you see on the website that they used, they had no box that they put all the text on. It was just like a flat web page. But then they have this box to really make these the bonuses and the ebook stand out. What I'm actually going to do is since we actually have this box anyway that all of our things are on, I'm not going to add that box. It's a little redundant. So, but what we could do is, let me see. And actually, I don't really know if, let's try this out. Let's try to put a box on a box. I'm not going to add a shadowed box here, but I want to see, let's duplicate this image. I want to see if you put an image on a box, what it looks like in the mobile view. Okay, so now we know our image is attached to our box. Let's see if it's okay, and it's attached to this box here. So let's go to the mobile view and see if this image actually stays with this transparent box and this box. We're doing a science experiment, you guys. We'll see. Is it possible? Is it possible? Oh my goodness. Do you guys know that the technology that goes into just being able to do this is incredible? This is something that a lot of builders do not have the option to do. So this is really, really cool. This just completely solved our issue. So now I'm going to go back here. Now I definitely want to put it in a box. I'm going to go back to the desktop view. I'm just going to delete this and make sure that's not the main one. I'm going to delete this because I'm actually not going to use this style. This would be, if you want to use the super checkout, this would be like the two-step where you embed into an iframe. I personally don't like that. Again, totally up to you, however you want to use it. So I'm just going to go ahead and just delete that whole panel here. So now we can put a box inside a box. What I'm going to do is stretch this out just a little bit, just like our example. I definitely don't want a purple border, so I'm going to just change this to, we'll just make it black because that was the example. Move this to black, and let's go ahead and make it a little bit thicker of a border so it shows up better. Yeah, I like that. Looks good. All right. So now we just want to change our image because this is still an image element. So let's click here, and now we just need the image of the ebook. Okay, so I'm going to click here to edit the image, go to General Settings and change image. And we don't have an image uploaded yet of just the ebook, only the magnet. So let's go back here to Images, and let's choose e-covers and ebook. And again, we have our choices, small, medium, and large. The large is not too big, so let's go ahead and choose that. And we're going to click here to select it when it's done uploading. There we go. And save. Now we have our beautiful ebook here that we are going to sell 1,000,000 copies, right? It's going to be a bestseller. All right, so now we just need some text here, and it's kind of like in a bullet point. Let me go back here so you can see again. This is what we are creating, and here is the text that we're going to add there. So let's move this to the side. Now I just need to add some text. Actually, I could just use this and duplicate this because it's really just going to be standard, paragraph text. So let's make this bigger because I'm anticipating needing the space. So we're going to expand our panel. We're going to expand our box here. What I love about boxes also is that when you do go to view it on different mobile devices or tablets or whatever is in the box stays on the box. So even if I move this around or whatever, everything that I put in this box will stay. All of the text, the benefits and everything I'm getting ready to paste in here will actually stay with this box. So that just helps to stay organized as well, but also helps to make sure that no matter what device it's being viewed on, that all the information stays with the, where it needs to be. So now I'm just going to click Control V because these are all the bullet points. Okay. So if you do this, you can do this different ways. Okay. You can put the bullet points here just like that. But I think that looks generic. I don't really like to do that. So I'm going to uncheck that. I'm going to show you a better way. So each of these lines needs to have a bullet point. I'm going to put a little bit of space in between each line. Okay, we're going to differentiate what needs to have a bullet point. Okay, so that's actually a 2-line thing. I'm just clicking enter to add more space. I'm kind of thinking maybe that's too much space. I don't really like all that space. I think maybe I won't have the space, but here's how we're going to differentiate each one because I don't like those bullet points. We can do something a lot more fancy. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I like to click not right next to the side. Let me move this down so you can see. I don't like to click, why is it doing that? I don't like to click right next to the side because it's too hard to get there, right? So what I want to do is just click a little bit right to the side of the box there, and then I want to go here to the icons. And what I want to do is choose something like, let's just type in star, something like a star, some kind of icon, maybe a check mark. Let's try check and search. Yeah, I think I'm liking this one. Let's go ahead and choose this one. Okay, so now instead of those generic bullet points, we're going to choose this one. And I think I like the darker version better, actually. So let me go back here. I'm going to use the arrow and move over right. I'm going to click delete. Okay, actually, let's just stick with that. Okay. I don't want to, I'm trying so hard to do this the right way, like I would do when I am not live, but I trying to be very conscious of your time. I personally don't like that little check mark. I want to choose a darker one. But since we have already done it, I don't want to keep going back and forth. Okay, so I'm just going to choose that one. If you have already selected one, the next time that you go to choose one, it will automatically select the same one. So all you have to do is click select. Okay, so now I've clicked right over here. I'm going to move the arrow 2 spaces to the left. I'm going to go back here to the little flag, and I'm going to click select. Okay, so that's how you add that. I'm going to go ahead and save, and hopefully it gives me what I needed here and doesn't add all that space. So if I click here and delete, all right, I'm going to go here. I'm going to move the arrow over. I'm going to add the flag. All I'm going to do is click select. Okay, so you guys get the point there. I want to save again, and then I'm just going to get out of this box, okay? And then of course, before the funnel's done, I will definitely go back and redo all of these things. But you guys get the point. Okay, so that is our first benefit. Okay, all of these things would have check boxes. Probably want to stretch this out a little bit. Yeah, but it is centered or left justified on the thing, so yeah, we'll just keep it like this. Okay, so now we have our first box, right? After that, if we go back to our sample here, we have another bold title, and then we basically start going into the bonuses. So the bonuses are included with our PLR product. Okay, so we already have all of these bonuses that we're offering. I always like to say, offer additional bonuses. Like if you guys if you go to the marketplace and see the freelance course that I created, I have an enormous amount of bonuses because I really want to drive home how much value that you're getting for, that amount of money. So what we need to do now is just add another bold text, and let's see, it's pretty large, so it's going to be larger than the rest of them. And then we're going to start in another box, another text, another title here, image, text, title, image, text. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the editor. And let me make sure you guys don't have any questions right now. Okay, good to go. All right. So let's start moving down the line. I'm going to add another title, but I want to put this on a different panel. So what I'm going to do is make this a little bit smaller. I'm going to bring this up a little bit. Then I just want to duplicate this panel, because why redo all of this, right? So I'm just going to add I'm going to add a panel for every bonus here. So what I'm going to do is move this back up to where I was working. I'm going to click on the panel I want to move, click Edit Element, go over here to Move Panels. I'm going to move this up. I think it was the third one, and click Move. Okay. So now we're moving right along. We have our main package here. We have our first, what we're selling. Now we need to add our bonuses. I go ahead and delete this because I don't need it. I'm going to delete this image because I don't need that either. And we'll delete this. And we can keep this because we'll reuse it. And I'm going to move this up here because this is going to be our first bonus. I want to make a large title here. So I'm just going to double click in here and do Control V to paste. But I want this to be larger. I'm going to make this maybe 40. And we'll stretch this out a little bit. Okay. Now I want to change, let's see. I want to change this image to be the checklist because that's our first bonus. So I'm going to right click. I'm going to go to General Settings, Change Image, and let's go ahead, and I don't have the checklist uploaded yet. So let's just go to our images and click on Checklist. And let's see how large the largest one, that's a good size. So we'll click Open. And as soon as it's done uploading, we'll left click and click Save. So now we have our checklist uploaded. Okay, so this is our first bonus. And above the image, we have another title. So let me just duplicate this again. And the title's inside the box. So we want to keep it inside the box. I'm going to double left click, highlight all of the text, Control V to paste, and it did not paste our style. So let's go ahead. We'll just make this again. I want to use neutral, and I want to make this a molly black. And let's change the size to be maybe, let's see what, 25, I think. Let's try 30 because it's a pretty big title. Okay, 30 is good. And let's go ahead and center that. And let's change the line height to 1. Okay. So I like that. All right. Again, let's save. That's fine. Eventually, well, we couldn't really do that. I was thinking eventually I'd like to have like an autosave feature, but you really don't want to autosave because, oh my gosh, especially like if you're working on a live website, just making adjustments and stuff. Oh, okay. So underneath our checklist here, we just have a little bit of text. So this is going to be a lot less text than our ebook offer. So I'm just going to do Control V and paste. Okay, so it's actually on 2 different lines, so we'll even remain consistent with that. And it is centered, so we're just going to center this. And that looks good. So now we're just going to shrink this up because we don't need a box this big for this item. Oops. Move that down. It's so hard for me to not just like manually adjust everything as I do this, but I really don't want to make this a 5-hour video. Okay, so let me go ahead and shrink this box up. You can see the little blue dot is under the panel, so we'll just grab that, shrink this up a little bit. Let's go ahead and shrink up this one as well, because we don't need it that stretched out. But now what we want to do is duplicate. So let's go to the panel that we want to use and let's move it back up. So now let's go to move panels and let's move it 1 space there and move. Hopefully that's the right spot. Let's go up. Okay, so we have our whole bundle. We have our ebook. We have our first bonus, and now we're working on our second bonus, and that is going to be the resource sheet. So I'm going to go ahead, copy this title, go ahead and paste it here. Okay, and we're just going to change the style here to neutral heading 3, Molly Black, and 30. And line height is 1. Okay, and center. Oops. Highlight the text and then center. There we go. All right. That is so frustrating. Okay. Let's try this again. And then we will change this to heading 3. I'm just going to say hi to tech support right now because they're going to receive this video when I'm done. I don't understand, and I actually was able to now record myself with this problem. I've definitely had it before, but never been able to recreate it to give to tech support. So let's see here. I'm going to change this to 1. And let's go ahead, let's delete that. Let's center this whole thing. And there we go. And let me save it just to make sure. And that's fine. And close. Okay, cool. Saved. Now we just need to change our image. So we're going to go to select edit element, go to general settings, change image, and we want to upload the resource cheat sheet. So let's go back to our graphics and images, and let's say e-covers. And here we go. Wait, resource cheat sheet. There we go. Let's see how large this is. And, I'm looking to see how large it is. All you do is hover over it and it tells you, see the little PNG file, and it tells you the dimensions. The largest one is not too large, so I'm going to go ahead and use that. And as soon as it uploads, we'll go ahead and add it to our box. It's looking beautiful. You guys already, like, let's see what time it is. In 50 minutes, we've already built out, done a lot of work on this page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy all of this stuff. So it really, I mean, you can see this doesn't really take a lot of time. It's just a matter of, like, once you get all the info, just making it pretty. So let's see here. It says you will find, but these things are not centered. So I'm actually going to put those on the left, and they actually have little the little dots here. So that's how it's formatted, but I will probably, when I come back, and then put my normal check marks. But again, let's just get the content on the page. Okay, that's the goal for today. So I'm going to actually stretch this out a little bit so that I can get that little blue dot of that box, because you see how big it is. So we'll just, there we go. Now I have revealed the end of the box. So I'm going to bring that up. Let's shrink up the black box here, and we'll shrink this up as well. And just to make sure, once you center everything, just to make sure that all of your boxes are the same width, you can center this, and then you can use the arrows and or the arrows. You can use the ruler here to say, this is how wide you want your boxes to be on this side. This is how wide you want it to be on this side. And then you could just simply move. And it actually, I love this. It's like intelligent enough to know that this is the edge. I mean, you could obviously go past the edge, but it gives you that little, like, stop so that you can hit the right spot, and not be like just a little over or whatever. So I really, really love that. And then when you're doing the other side as well, you could just move it like this. So really, really cool to have that ability. And you could also do it on, horizontally. To get rid of these lines, all you have to do is click on the lines, the little X will appear, and then you can get rid of those. So let's get rid of that actually. So hover over it and click. There we go. All right. So now we have this here. I'm going to just move this little arrow up. I'm not really sure if I'm going to keep that or not, but for now we'll keep it. Now I just need to shrink down this panel a little bit. Okay, so now we have one more bonus that we're going to offer. It's going to be the fast action bonus number 3 mind map. So let's go ahead. We're just going to duplicate this again, and let's definitely save, because we've done enough. We want to save, and that's fine. And let's go ahead and move this panel up where we want it to be. So I'm going to click Edit Element, and let's see, go to Move Panels, and I think it's just one at this point, so we're just going to move that up. Take a drink of water while I wait. Okay. So we have our bonus number 1, bonus number 2. Now we're on bonus number 3. So I'm just going to highlight this here, and I'm going to click Control V to paste. And let's see, we have styles neutral. Oops, it's actually a 3. I don't know if that matters or not, to be honest, when you're doing neutral text. So let's say Molly Black, let's say 30, and line height 1. And let's go ahead and highlight all the text and center. There we go. Oh my goodness gracious. 40. Neutral. I'll just try this one more time for my own OCD. And if it doesn't save again, then we're going to move on. Okay, so here we go. Oops, but wait, oh, it did save, but I need that line height to be 1. So let's change that to 1. Okay. And let's save. Oh, okay. Now we need to change the image to the mind map image that we have in our PLR products. So I'm going to just click here and I'm going to click edit element. Edit element. And then I'm going to go to general settings and change image. And let's go ahead and upload the image of our mind map. So let's go to graphics, images, maybe e-covers. And I don't see the mind map image, but I know that it has to be in here. So flat. Not finding the mind map, but it's on their example. So I know, oops, that's not what I wanted. Well, I will eventually. I know, let's see if it's actually in this one. So this is actually the video upgrade version. So let's try in here. No. Interesting. Okay, so upsell page, images. I am so perplexed right now. I know I've never ever had one where they didn't have a mind map in reality. So, oh, here we go. I don't know how I missed that. Oh, now what the crap? It's not showing up. Might not be extracted. So let's go here. Let's go to launch course. Let's get in here. There's my mind map, and there it is. Oh, but that's the actual PDF mind map. So here's what, let me see, let me make sure one more time that there's no image of this mind map. Look in the bundle, checklist. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do, guys, because we gotta have that image. All right, so let's go back and back again and back again. And let's go to the mind map. Let's just pull this baby up here. All right, so here is the actual mind map. Let's see. Oh, interesting. All right, so what we're going to do is a little, I wonder if I click Control C to copy, let's go to, make it out of that. You guys, you cannot see that. You just saw my coaching presentation. It's not ready yet, but it's going to be beautiful. Let's see, what size do I want this image? Let's do create design. And let's say 1,000 by 1,000 and create new image. Then I'm going to left click here. Let's do control. Nope. Okay, so it's not going to let me copy it like that. So let's go back to our, let's pull up the image. So what I'm going to use is now the snipping tool. So this comes on any Windows computer, I know for sure. So I'm just going to use this and I'm going to click new. And then I'm just going to do like a quick screenshot of this mind map. So, but I don't want it to be, I want it to be kind of square and not really show everything. So we're just going to do like this. Okay. And basically we're just going to create our own image here. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do edit and copy. And let's go back to Canva. Canva is my best friend, in case you guys didn't know. next to Builderall. It's absolutely my best friend. So now I'm going to click Control V to paste. Now we have our mind map. I almost wanted to say Nana Nana Boo Boo because they tried to hide the image from us. Okay, so we have this here. It's going to be a little large, and I really don't like that hanging off the edge like that, like where there's extra space there. So I'm going to resize this, and I'm going to make it not so tall. So let's try 800 by 1,000 and resize. Nope, wrong one. So let's try 1,000 by 800 and resize. Okay, that's pretty good. So we'll just stretch this out, make it a little bit larger. There we go. Do we want to add, let's see, this is not transparent. So it is going to, we want this to probably have, let's see, if we add a color background, yeah, then it's just going to be white there. So let's just leave the whole image white. I think that's what we should do. So let's go ahead and call this mind map image. And let's go ahead and download. We're not going to make it transparent because we don't want this white on the edges there. We don't want that to show. So let's download. And we can just add it to our launch course images here. And now let's upload it into our editor. So launch course images, mind map image. And let's go ahead once it uploads. All right, so now we have our mind map. It's not as fancy as the other one, but you know what? This is going to work. Okay, so now underneath that, we just have a little bit of text. So I'm going to go ahead and add this and click Control V to paste. And that's all for inside this box. Okay. Now, we've been live now for about an hour while I work through all of these things. And I really think we need to probably extend this till tomorrow because I definitely want to show you guys how to edit the mobile view. I always create a page and then I go edit the mobile view. And we also, looking at this here, we also need to add these things and connect our checkout. So we probably have another maybe 45 minutes on this page to get this done. But the beauty of that is that we can duplicate this page and then use it for our video upsells. Okay, so it's definitely going to be a lot easier. And then also, let me stop sharing here. Stop sharing. And then also it's super cool to be able to duplicate the whole funnel. Like once you have this built and it is in that PLR format, then you have the ability to just duplicate all of those and just swap out the images and the text, right? So once you have the one funnel built like that, just use it again and again and again, right? Let me get to some of your questions here. It says, actually look on the broadcast page. Minimize that. Okay. Sorry, guys. Let me log in here. All right. Sorry. Just wanted to make sure that I could get all of your questions. All right. Let's see. Alvin says, well, let me start. Ooh, you guys have had a busy conversation here. Let me actually put your, oh, it'll only show new comments on the screen. But let's go ahead and I will add them anyway, because I love for you guys to see everyone commenting. So let's see here what we got. So, let's see. Alvin says, got it. This resource is already an asset to market and support. Oh, okay. I already read that. Jim loves the live training. Bliss AJ Smart says, hello. Armando says the editing and work separates the amateurs and the entrepreneurs. It seems easy, but not for the amateurs. It seems like a lot of work. I like watching the work. I got to like doing the work. The steps matter. I meant to say each steps matters, time and patience, especially. Yeah. Yeah. When I say it's easy because it's copying and pasting. And it is really easy once you learn the tools, but you have to give yourself, and I say this all the time, you have to give yourself the grace to learn the tools. This is not something that people can just jump right in and just immediately start creating beautiful websites. It takes so much practice and time. And, the biggest challenge sometimes is just like that pasting issue that I was having, where it wasn't saving the text. It's like, you might have that issue, but if you're brand new, you might think, well, I'm doing something wrong. I'm so frustrated. I'm doing something wrong. I don't know what to do. So you might think it's you and really it's a tech problem, but you might think it's a tech problem and really it's you. So that honestly was probably the hardest part for me. I didn't know if it was just me doing something wrong. So let's see. Um, Someone on Facebook says, "Hi, Bridget. You said yesterday's design will be giving out to us. Yes, it will when it's done, but it has to be done first. We have a while to go." Let's see. Jim says, "I'll save my questions for Friday." More than happy to. And if you guys did not know, we do live Q&A every Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I always share the link, so you can log in with your Builderall credentials, and then join me in the Zoom. So even if you're on the free Builderall plan, you can still join me for the live Q&A. Let's see. Armando says, amazing time and effort. Thank you so much. And Jim says, I'll have to share my screen with you. Totally understand. That's why I love the live Q&As. I love for you guys to have the ability to share your screen. And so I can actually see, where are you stuck and where other people can see too. That's so much value in that, is other people seeing like, what is Jim struggling with? Because if I tell Jim how to resolve his problem, that I'm sure other people will have the same problem, and then they'll have light bulbs going off like, I didn't know that we could do that, or oh my gosh, I'm so glad you showed me that. Or maybe a month from now somebody has that same problem and they remember, oh, Jim brought that up in the live Q&A and Bridget showed him how to fix it, and here's that. So you're building this knowledge base of information every time you watch one of these videos. And I do the same thing when I watch the other Mag 5 videos and how they're using the same exact tools. My brain explodes with possibilities and things that I had, just little snippets of information that I had no idea existed. So, all right, guys, that's all I have for you today. Lots of information, but again, I will be giving this funnel to you, but it has to be done first, right? So I'm going to create the entire funnel, and I am going to be putting this on the marketplace. I think I'm going to put it on the marketplace as a funnel template to sell. I haven't really decided yet. And so if you guys are joining me, what I'm going to do is actually create a promo code that if you're watching my video, if you're watching live on the last day, I'm going to give you a promo code so you can go get it for free. But it's going to be a limited time thing. So if you're watching this video, 2 years from now, you're not going to get it. I'm sorry. It's going to be, unless it's just something that I decide at that point to give for free, because we are moved on, millennials at that point. So I will see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place. So make sure to go build it with Builderall. Have a good one. Bye.